Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel Coffee Tea Paper. My name's Louise and today I'm doing a video that's actually been inspired by a few other people's videos here on YouTube. Namely Jane over at JP Pen and Ink, Leanne Likes, and also is it Corey Soxy? I'm not sure if I've got that right, if I'm saying it right, because they have all recently produced videos with the hashtag Penventory, which is essentially an inventory of their fountain pens. I've never done one of these, so I thought it would be fun. And in fact, I've never actually got out all my fountain pens and looked at them in the one spot at the one time. So you will have seen that in my thumbnail for this video. But I will talk you through my pens and I'll also talk about the ones that I'm thinking about letting go. I'm not sure how. I believe that there is some place that you can post pens for sale or swapping or something. I'm just not entirely sure where that is. But I thought maybe if I do this video, some kind soul will let me know. So first of all, I want to start with my collection of Ferris wheel press Carousel fountain pens. And of course, each of these have been released with a matching ink. This one was Tumultuous Tides, Brilliant Beanstalk, Poison Envy, Malibu Blush, and the most recent one, Hearty Harvest. I really like these pens. They're not particularly expensive. They're just a very cheapy plastic body and lid. However, the best part of these pens are the nibs and what's inside, namely the ink converters. They're a really high quality nib and a really high quality ink converter. So for the price point, it doesn't really matter if these two things are quality, as long as it's comfortable to hold. You've got a really nice, affordable fountain pen. So the grip here is actually like reminiscent of a Staedtler pencil, essentially, with that beveled edges there. I know they're not to everybody's taste. They feel that they are a bit of a cheap finish, but I think for the price point, they're an excellent starter pen. Great for a gift for someone who might not know if they're into fountain pens or not. And plus, of course, they come in such a wide variety of colors. It's really fun for those of us who like to have matchy pen and ink. So these are my Carousel collection. So we shall put them over there. Next, I will talk about my Covecos, because these are also a plasticky pen. Well, most of them, not all of them. My very first fountain pen was actually this one. This is a CCO Sport in the frosted coconut, and I picked this one up in London from the store Choosing Keeping, and this was the pen that was recommended to me as a good starting point pen for someone who didn't know whether they were going to enjoy fountain pens or not. And she advised me to partner it with an ink cartridge, which was, I chose the J. Herbin, I think Cafe des Îles or Isle, Cafe des Isles, something like that, a brown, anyway, it was essentially a brown ink. I don't even have this one inked up at the moment. So similarities between this and the Carousel, they both have a plasticky body. The Caveco is probably a slightly better quality. They both have excellent nibs. You can use them with ink cartridges or converters. And of course, rather than a clip-on lid, the Caveco Sport actually screws on, which makes it a really good pocket pen or fountain pen for traveling. So I have this one in the red. I have it in the papaya, I think this is called, the frosted coconut. I have two in the limited edition Kaweco collection iridescent pearl. They were both gifts. And I also have a CCO Sport demonstrator, and I've added a gold clip to both of the ones that have the gold finials. And then this is my most deluxe one, which is the CCO Bronze Sport, which is, I believe, a limited release. I just love this. I love the feel of it. I love the look of it. Yeah, it's beautiful. It feels so heavy and lovely. So I'm going to put these over here. Next we have my TWSBIs. This was the second brand that I branched out to try, and my first one in the TWSBI collection was actually this one, which is a TWSBI Diamond 580, and this has a broad nib. I've currently got Diamine Caramel Sparkle in it, which is just a beautiful ink. I also have, this is a Diamond 580 ALR. I think this is the Prussian blue indigo, not entirely sure. Then I have this one, which is the TWSBI VAC 700R in Iris, and this has the VAC filling mechanism, which is a plunge and a ink goes up. It's very terrifying. And then my little TWSBI Mini, which I got this for, this is a TWSBI Diamond Mini. I got this last Christmas as a gift, and I took this traveling. It was excellent. And my most recent TWSBI is the Eco Tea in Saffron. The TWSBI pens are just so reliable. They're so nicely made. They come with a maintenance kit, each pen, and they feel weighty and such a beautiful quality. They're definitely a step up from the standard CCO Sport. So next I have my two Conklin Duragraphs. This is the Conklin Duragraph limited edition Voyager with the birch body and an amber type lid. The Omniflex nib, which is just such a beautiful writing experience, and I liked it so much I also got a Conklin Duragraph in amber, also with an Omniflex nib in this really eye-catching orange and black body, which I like very much. So let's put them there. Maybe we put them over here. Put them here. Next I have my two Sailors. I'm not super enamored of the Sailor pens, I have to say. I mean, these are the Profit or Profit Junior varieties, so they're definitely more affordable than you know which one I mean. Yeah, look, this one has a Fude nib, which is interesting. I don't actually really enjoy using it, and this one I got because it's got the golf themed on it, and it came in orange, which is of course one of my favorite colors. It's alright. They write a bit fine for my liking. I think I prefer a European nib or a thicker Japanese nib, but anyway. And then lastly in my collection, I actually have a Jinhao 82, which is modelled on Pro Gear, the Sailor Pro Gear. I've tried a Pro Gear in a shop and I didn't actually enjoy the riding experience very much. Funnily enough, with the Jinhao, I really like this one. Don't know why. Can't explain the difference. Maybe it's the price point. I think this was like $25 as opposed to $300. It's nicely finished. It's got the brand Jinhao. It's got a nice little touches. Yeah, it's just a nice pen, and you don't need to be precious with it. Like if it accidentally fell on the floor or something, I'm going to be okay with that. This one is a Muji polycarbonate fountain pen. Came with black ink cartridge, and its nib actually reminds me of a Lamy nib. It's a decent pen. It writes well. It doesn't give me the same uplifting experience that I get with my Kavekos or my TWSBIs or my Conklins, but it's you know, I'm happy to write my shopping list with this pen. And lastly, I have this one, which is a no-name pen I got from Temu with a wooden body and a brass lid, and the nib that came with this, it's actually got a really nice finger grip there. Nib that came with this was terrible, so I actually swapped it out for a Ferris wheel press nib. And I'm going to attempt to, let me see, I think I put it in the Poison Envy one. I'm going to attempt to use this as a bit of experiment for some nib adjustment and see if I can get it to improve the writing experience. But because I have a number of Carousel pens, and they're probably my most affordable pens in my lineup, I decided that that was worth an experiment. But I do want to get this pen working, so I will endeavour to experiment with this nib, and failing that, I think I will get a replacement nib for this one, probably a Yowo nib, and then put the original Ferris wheel press nib back into this one. As for the future of my fountain pens, I have many that I have my eye on, particularly Esterbrook. I really want to try Esterbrook pens. I think they are so beautiful, and of course they have an incredible history, particularly of their nibs and interesting nibs. So that's something for future, because they are not the cheapest pen out there, but beautiful. So that's a future purchase. But for the moment, I really would like to move this one on. Probably someone who's interested in using a Fude nib for sketching or drawing purposes. It's a nice pen, this. It's kind of a mushroom pink with a slight iridescence. So it's a nice colour, but I just can't get my head around the Fude nib. The other one that I am thinking might need a new home is this CCO Sport in red. It's just not my type of red. I just feel it jars with the rest of my collection. And the other thing that I was a bit disappointed about it is that the gold on the nib of this one has sort of come off a bit. Just doesn't really do it for me. I'm not sure I'd even sell it. I might give it away to someone. Then they could always buy a replacement nib if they didn't like. It doesn't affect the writing quality. It's just an aesthetic preference, I guess, is the point there. That is my Penventory for 2023. As I said, my first fountain pen purchase was back in January 2020, so I've nearly been collecting and using fountain pens for almost 4 years now, so I guess it's time to count them up. Got the 5 Carousels, 7 Quebecos, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I guess that's not too bad for a collection of 4 years of 24 fountain pens. So let me know what your favorite one is below. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't and you would like to, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that like button. Bye for now.